Okay, I think that we can start. Odelia?
Yes.
Okay. I imagine that people will be joining in the next few minutes, but we will begin. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for our webinar. We're going to be discussing the EIC Accelerator in 2021. Odelia Malka is our Chief of Strategy and she'll be hosting this event. Sorry. My name is Ahava and I'm the Marketing Executive here at Argentum. For those of you who don't know us, I'll give a brief description of Argentum. We are a consulting firm. We specialize in attaining non-dilutive funding and R&D incentives for deep tech companies. We work with companies in all areas of technology, and we assist them in the process of getting funded. We are part of the Israeli Free Mind Group. It was established in 1999, so about 20 years ago. And since its establishment, we have helped clients worldwide get funded over 2 billion euros, nearly 2 billion euros, sorry. So basically we work with clients in Europe. Argentum works primarily with clients in Europe and in Israel. The Free Mind Group works with other countries as well. And we help companies participate more in locally funded and in EU funded programs. We have an incredible team of analysts, project managers, group leaders, business development specialists, and talented grant writers. Together, we are prepared to guide you on your journey towards funding your innovation. So I'll give a brief description of our event today. We're going to begin with a presentation by Odelia about the program. We're going to follow that presentation with addressing some key questions that could come up following that presentation, and then there'll be time for Q&A. You are more than welcome to write your questions in the Q&A box or the chat box, preferably the Q&A box, throughout the presentation. I do ask that if you read a question that is similar to what you wanted to ask or the same question, please refrain from writing it again. You can do a little like next to the question. It'll make it a lot easier for us to cover everything. Okay, so basically, as I said, presentation, some key questions, and then Q&A from you, from the crowd. I would like to, with no further ado, present Odelia. Odelia is our Chief of Strategy, as I said. She has a BA in political science and an MA in political theory, both from Geneva University. She is an expert in research design, including data gathering and data analysis, logical data model designing, and establishing performance and success indicators, all a background that's very helpful for her position in the strategy team. Odelia has wide experience working with organizations from the private, public, and third sector, and she leads our strategic department at Argentum. So Odelia, take it away. You can begin the presentation and we'll
thank you, Ava. So thank you for joining us this morning. I prepared a short presentation about the EIC work program. The EIC work program has changed over the year, and even if not officially published yet, we have access to the drafts that are very close to what will be published, and therefore I would like to share it with you. The first slide here is about the KPIs and the specific objectives of Horizon Europe through the EIC work program. The reason I want to begin with that is because I believe that as a grant writer, we have to align with the specific objectives and KPI that the European Commission has set. Therefore, while reading the EIC work program, I try to highlight the main KPIs that that will drive our research and our writing. First of all, we are looking for impact-oriented entities. When I talk about impact, I talk about societal impact, changing mentality, something that is breakthrough, and also economic impact and growth. The second one would be this Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, and Green Deal Directive that I believe most of you are familiar with. The third one would be more an approach when we're building up a consortia, or even when we are applying a single applicant. We have to make sure that we are our approach is always directed to bridging between research, deep tech, technology, and market deployment. It's always an equilibrium between those three. Then also when building up a consortium, we have to make sure that it is balanced between different European region, especially the less favorized one. Very important for me as well, it has to be gender balanced. We will promote women innovation. We do believe, and I do believe, that the women has something very specific to bring, and we want to highlight it. We are, again, for the approach, we have always to approach an open access to share knowledge, and we believe that sharing knowledge is the best way for growth and development. Now, this is a panorama, an overview of the three main tracks of the EIC work program. The EIC work program brings technology from early stage until market deployment through mainly three tracks. The first track is called the EIC Pathfinder. It's for very early stage technology. When I say TRL, I believe most of you know TRL is technology readiness level. It's a scale from 1 to 9, beginning with an idea, ending with the commercialization of a product. So the EIC Pathfinder is for the first stage, TRL 1 to 4, from an idea to a certain POC of this idea. It's for radical early stage technologies. As you say, there are two boxes because you can apply through the open call, which is open for every field of activity, or for the challenge-driven call with some very specific, as I mentioned before, the KPIs, very specific challenges that the European Commission is willing to advance. The second one is the EIC Transition. The EIC Transition brings from TRL 4 to 5, 6. I would say that those are very relevant for more long process R&D development. As you see in the strategic challenges, you will see medical innovations and energy. And you can apply through the, again, to the open call or the challenge-driven call. I would say that the EIC Transition brings you from technology to a certain market readiness. And then the star that I believe most of you are here for is the EIC Accelerator. EIC Accelerator brings you from TRL 6 to 5, 6, meaning that you have achieved already a tangible POC, brings you to TRL 8, 9, for market deployment. Again, you have the open call and the challenge-driven call. Open call, open for every field of activity. Challenge-driven call, again, two specific challenge. This time would be digital health and green or clean tech. Okay, now we'll drill down to those three paths. The first, the EIC Pathfinder, supports science toward technology breakthrough research. I'm sorry. You can apply as a consortium of at minimum 3 participants from 3 different countries in European member state or associated country to Horizon. The applicants can be for-profit and non-for-profit applicants, university research organization, SMEs, startup, industrial partners, or even natural person like researchers. Regarding the submission, as I said, we have two paths. The bottom up, the open path would be for applying in May, and the challenge-driven call in October. When I say challenge-driven call, we have 5 challenges. One would be awareness inside, meaning to understand what is going inside, like robotics and AI algorithm. The second would be tool to measure and stimulate activity in brain tissues, again, inside. Emerging technology in cell and gene therapy, novel routes for green hydrogen production, engineered living material. So we're in the really deep tech. Regarding the evaluation process, you have to submit a proposal. If I remember correctly, it's about 17 pages, and it will go for a peer review. You will be scored, ranked, and then funded or not. Regarding the project scope, we are talking about RIA, Research Innovation Action, TRL 1 to 4, from idea to technological validation. The funding opportunity is up to 3 million euro for the open path, up to 4 million euros for the challenge-driven path, and we are talking about 100% funding rate. The transition call. First of all, we will have to put a disclaimer. For the applicants in 2021, the applicants for the transition has to be based on a previously funded Pathfinder. The previous Pathfinder in Horizon 2020 would be projects like ERC, FET Open, FET Proactive, FET Flagships. So you don't have to be the same one that applied for the FET Open and again for the transition, but you have to base your proposal on a previously funded project. So this is an important disclaimer. But then the applicants that can apply as a single applicant or as a consortia, research organization, university, SME, industry, partners, spin-offs, startups, everyone can apply. Regarding the submission, for the open path, it will be in September. For the challenge-driven call, in October. The challenges in this case would be medical device and energy harvesting technology. Regarding the evaluation, so you have submitted a proposal. It's about 20 pages, the proposal. And then if you pass this stage, you will be invited for an interview. The project scope, as I said already, TRL 5, bringing your ID to TRL 5.6, meaning that you increase the maturity of your technology, but also you have to develop a certain business plan for this specific application and making the solution investment ready, meaning going forward for the de-risking of this breakthrough technology. The funding opportunity, it's a 2.5 million grant, and again, 100% funding rate. Now we're getting to the star, the EIC Accelerator. The EIC Accelerator is for a single applicant, so you don't have to build up a consortium, and it's relevant for SMEs only. A larger company can also apply, but cannot receive the grant, but the equity only. I will go into that when I get to the funding opportunity. Regarding the submission, is a three-stage submission. The first stage is a short application, 5 pages, PowerPoint presentation, and a short movie. This will lead you to a go, no-go decision to go for the second stage. The second stage would be a full proposal, again, for the open or the challenge-driven path with 2 different deadlines in June and in October. I just forgot to say that for the short submission, you can apply from end of March or beginning of April. This is ongoing. You can apply whenever you want, until 2 times a year. And then the third stage, if you pass the second stage, it's an interview. Now we'll discuss the changements, because I believe most of you know the EIC Accelerator from previous years, and now the submission could seem more complicated, but I will show you exactly why they did. They split it in several stages, and actually the benefits that we see in this. Regarding the evaluation procedure, it's more straightforward. It's a go, no-go decision from each stage. And if you have a go and then a no-go, you go back to the previous stage. Regarding
sorry, I'm stopping you for 1 second. Is it possible to make the slide larger? I got a comment in the chat that it's too small.
Yeah, we'll try that, but let's see.
But maybe in display settings.
No, and I don't want to do display settings. Yeah, I do see that. No. I'm sorry, but we can send the presentation after. I just don't want to make any mistakes here on my screen now. I'm sorry for that. We'll think about that next time. So I talked about the evaluation, go, no go decision. I wanted to go back to the challenge driven. In this case, we are talking about strategic health and digital technologies, and clean tech, Green Deal innovation for economic recovery. Green Deal innovation for economic recovery, what does that mean? The Horizon Europe has decided that for economic recovery after the COVID crisis, that I hope we are all almost over, the Green Deal will help, meaning that creating new opportunities in the clean tech technology will engage growth, give some job opportunities, and help us out for economic recovery. The link is a bit difficult to understand. We're working on it. Regarding the project scope, we are talking about IA. I said before RIA, Research Innovation Action. Now it's an innovation action with the higher TRL from 5.6 to 8.9, as I said before. Regarding the funding opportunity, what is interesting here is because we are going for commercialization and marketing strategies, the European Commission has split the funding opportunity into a grant opportunity and an equity funding opportunity, so non-dilutive and dilutive funding. The grant can be up to 2.5 million grant, while the funding rate is 70% and the overhead is 25%. Overhead 25% is relevant for each track, and also a 15 million euro equity investment possible for your application. The equity would cover the TRL 9, the commercialization strategy. The grant will cover TRL 5.6 to 8 included, meaning until market readiness, validation, certification of your product, and scaling up, or large scale piloting, for example. Now, I would like to talk a bit about those changes for those who knew the EIC Accelerator before and that are a bit lost with those changes. I would say first that the European Commission has thought about those changes and have based their changes, their modification, on the previous EIC Accelerator pilot that was in 2019 and 20. And the previous is SME instrument. I would say also that the European Commission has listened to the frustration of the applicants regarding the chances of success, and the frustration of the evaluator regarding the thousands of applications with the low chances of success again, and therefore they have set this new program. This new program is willing to create a funding chain, as I explained, from early stages until commercialization, and really are wanting to accompany the applicants toward this journey. And this is also at Argentum how we see it. The funding strategy, the grant writing is not a one shot. It's a process. It's a journey. And this is what the EIC work program is also telling us. The work program is a more straightforward approach, a modern dynamic approach with a go-no-go evaluation process that gives you in a very short time, a few weeks, already the answers to decide if you go further or not. I believe that through the new EIC work program, the chances of success will be higher. Why? First, as I said, for the EIC Accelerator, for example, that there are 3 stages. The first stage, we know that the European Commission is willing to give a go to 30% of the applicants, meaning that for the first stage, you have 30%, about 30% of chances to get a go decision, which is quite good for the European calls in general. And then the second stage, as we have already selected only 30%, I believe that this will not be the 4% we knew in a previous path, but it will be higher, more something like 25 or even 30%. So this 3 stages will enable the European Commission to target more specifically exactly what they are looking for. I believe that this will reduce a bit of frustration because, for example, the first stage is requiring not a lot of efforts from the applicant side. So you can have quite easy response regarding if you're relevant, suitable or not. I would also say that the European Commission in the EIC work program is willing to recognize and reward excellent participants, even if they are not successful in their application. So if you've not funded, I believe that a lot of you have already received the Seal of Excellence and you say, whatever, I can receive the Seal of Excellence, but what can I do with that? So now they have given some rewarding or business acceleration services for good participants, even if they didn't receive the last go and the funding, they can receive some service or even some funding in order to get there. Moreover, they are willing to build up a EIC platform that will really help us for building up a consortium and find your key partners in your field. And also to get it more straightforward, they have built up the fast track or plug-in scheme. Those fast track are for applicants that had already an Horizon 2020 project funded, and they can apply with a more straightforward track for additional funding for their innovation. So I believe that's all. I will just say a bit about what we're proposing. Ava has already mentioned, but I will drill down a bit. We have a methodic approach. We have an overview of the whole grant opportunity, so we are able to make the connections between the applicants and the different calls to find suitability. We're able also to evaluate your chances of success and advise you if you should or should not apply. We have also methodology in order to write a good proposal based on our expertise, but also based on the evaluators' questions. we're expert in tailor applications. As I said, I always talk in plural because we believe in multi-submission strategy. We believe that in order to higher your chances of success, you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket, but see it as a whole. And we're here for that. So I hope I was not too long, and I will be happy to address any questions.
Okay, so Odelia, there are a number of key questions we wanted to discuss between the two of us, but I'm seeing that some of the questions in the chat are also refer to the same topics. So I'll begin and we'll go along. I'm going to try and reach everyone who wrote to us. Okay, so first I just want to address a number of questions that came up around the same issues. So regarding our business model and the way we work as far as payment, that's something that I would be very happy to email you about. I will also write my email in the chat box, and whoever wants to write to me, I would be happy to give answers. It really depends on the company. It depends on the program. There are many elements that are taken into consideration with the business model. So for that reason, I don't want to give an answer to everyone. In general, I will say it's based on an upfront fee and a success fee, and that's all we'll say regarding that. A number of people asked about the slides, if they'll be available. So yes, Odelia, as Odelia mentioned before, for some reason, we're having a bit of an issue here with the slideshow, but we will be happy to send it to whoever attended via email. And the event will be uploaded to YouTube. So if you would like to watch it again or send it to colleagues, so it'll be available on our YouTube page, Argentum Consultants. Okay, so I'm gonna respond to some of the questions, sorry. Laura asked, as a female biotech founder, I am also interested to learn about the dedicated female founders track. Odelia, do you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, there is a prize for women innovation. If I'm correct, it's a prize of 300K. 3 prizes of 100K. It would be for the second or third quarter of 2021. I will be glad to share with you more. I didn't prepare it in this presentation, but yeah, you remind me that within the EIC work program, there are also prizes. Prizes are usually for recognition, recognized activities or accomplished activities. So yeah, definitely, if you're a woman that initiated a biotech company, you would definitely be aligned with that. And Ava, please keep her email, and we will send her more information about this opportunity. I didn't prepare for that, so I don't have all the questions, and I don't want to be mistaken.
Okay, Laura, I'd be happy if you could send your email via chat, because all I see is the name. I don't think it gives the email information.
I will also say that in the evaluation procedure, when the evaluator are hesitating between who to fund at the last stages, they will give some, they will prioritize women. This will be also in the evaluation procedure.
Okay, so if we're already touching upon the subject of preference or sort of an added bonus that maybe a female CEO could have, is there a preference for certain technologies or certain countries? We also got a question about which countries.
So this I would, I'm sorry, I would refer to the first slide. The first slide, I began with the KPIs and the specific objective of the European Commission. So yes, definitely the evaluation procedure at the end. So first of all, they are totally open, they receive everyone. But then when they have to decide from the finalist, they will give some preference for the one that are aligned with the specific objective they have set. For example, the green green objectives, women balance, geographical balance. So yes.
Okay, and as far as certain countries, basically the call applies to EU and associated countries. The list of associated countries to the EU, if you don't know if you are or not, it's available online. So that's regarding that question. I do want to ask for companies that have reached the interview stage in previous years, do they have an advantage over other candidates? Are they able to submit immediately to stage 2 of the program?
Yes, they can apply. They can apply as the fast track scheme. But this they will have to make a short procedure to see if they're eligible to go for the fast track scheme and go directly to the second stage. We will have to drill down and see it case by case who is eligible for that.
Okay, and would you happen to have the success rate for a company that's reached the interview stage in previous years? Like, would you say it's higher?
As I said, I believe that splitting the submission process in stages will give higher chances of success at each stage. So as I said, I know about the first stage what they want. More or less to receive more or less 30%, but for the next stages it's a bit difficult for me to predict what would be the chances of success. It will definitely be more than what was, because as soon as you have reached already, you have received a go for the first application, then there will be less applicants. I would also say that the European Commission has not published yet. And the reason that we are getting already ready, and we have already clients that are preparing an EIC proposal, the reason is because we know that when they will publish, the entities will not be ready for submit. And we want to be the first to be ready to submit and have the highest chances of success. So there is also a timing issue that we want to win here.
And to begin preparing the storyline, the proposal, the video at this point already. That was also one of the questions I wanted to ask.
Yes.
Like, because there hasn't been the official publication, is there anything to do at this point? And you're saying definitely it's a time to start thinking of the proposal and start working on it. And I just want to ask, like, what added value would you say a consultant brings to the table? Like, what does a consultant offer? Why involve us?
Okay, well, it depends on the applicant. Some of the applicants that I know are companies that are not able to take a step aside, look at the technology, and tell it as a story. This is where the consultant comes. He's looking at your innovation and is building up with you a storyline that is beginning with a certain need and a certain solution and a certain strategy. We know also we have built a whole methodology regarding building up a proposal. Some of our colleagues are also evaluators at the European Commission, so we know more or less what is asked from, not more or less, we know exactly what the evaluators are looking for. We know the question they are asked, so we know which word has to be highlighted or has to appear in a proposal, because we know also how much time an evaluator gives to reading a proposal, and we will have to make the work as easy for him. Also, grant writing, I believe it's an expertise that you reach. Not everybody knows how to read, to write coherently, how to convince, and this is what we're doing. So I believe this is our added value.
Okay, thank you for that answer. I happen to agree with you. I don't think either of us would be working for our company if we didn't think that there was an added value to our work. Okay, so there are many, many questions. I really hope we can cover as many as possible. So we answered Laura's question. Alexander asks, what is the, I guess, personal contribution of an SME, like as far as percentage in the total sum of the project?
Can you, I didn't understand the question. Please again.
Okay, what would be like the participation, I guess, in percentage in the of the company, of the SME, as part of the total project, the total sum of the project? I hope I'm understanding the question correctly.
I have no clue how many applicants will be, if this is the question. As I said, the two last year, there were like thousands of applicants and the chances of success were very low. Now, the splitting stages will dilute a bit the number of applicants. And also we're looking for this timing issue, meaning that in the beginning, not everyone will be ready for applying. But I'm not sure this was the question, so.
Yeah, I'm also not entirely sure. Alexander, if we didn't answer what you asked, you're welcome to maybe elaborate. We have a question from Per. Do you have the templates for EIC for the submission, short and full proposal? Do we have templates for that?
Okay, no, the templates were not published. We have drafts from the templates they're working on, and we have developed for the moment our own template because we know quite what they are looking for. So we are working with our own templates, and then we will align as soon as published. This is how we are getting ready as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you. We have a question from Rafal. I hope I'm reading that correctly. Regarding the Seal of Excellence, which Odelia, you spoke about before, but specifically the question is, if a company holds a Seal of Excellence, would that be a shorter path for the second stage of evaluation, in your opinion?
So as I said before, regarding the fast track, meaning going to the second stage directly, this will have to be evaluated case by case to see if you're eligible to go for the fast track. But yeah, definitely from now on, they want to privilege companies that have received the Seal of Excellence.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next question. So Kumi asks, how do the resources provided by the program change in order to allow better response and success for this three-step process for the EIC?
Okay, again, I'm not sure I've done understand, but the funding doesn't cover your costs of the proposal preparation, meaning that those three stages of application will be on your costs. So again, I'm not sure I got the question.
So again, Kumi, if you could elaborate to make it a little clearer what you're referring to, that would be excellent. Okay.
And if this was the question, the funding is only at after the third stage. So there's no three-stage funding, for example, if that was the question.
Okay, well, Kumi, if you responded correctly to your question, then great. And if not, you're welcome to elaborate. Okay, so Manuel is asking, so success rate is predefined at 30% for stage one, then 25 to 30% stage two, and then stage three, question mark. Or does it depend on a number of applicants as before?
Yes, it depends on the number of applicants. Usually for the third stage, the two question marks. The third stage, usually they invite for interview the double of what they are willing to fund. So you will have a 50% chances to get the funding if you're invited to Brussels. So this would be for the first stage. Now, regarding the 30% and the 25%, this is my estimation, okay? It might be higher, lower. I believe it will be higher during the first months, because when I said the first stage can be applied ongoing, but beginning by end of March. And then the second stage, the first deadline, is already in June. So for applicants that will apply for the first stage, let's say in April or May, they will receive an answer a few weeks later, and there is no way they could be ready for the second stage in June. And therefore, we are working on already in order to apply for the first submission as soon as published, so that we get an answer and we have at least 1 month or more, 1.5 months to get prepared for the second stage.
Okay. Thank you. Again, I'm getting a lot of questions about our business model. I'm going to write my email in the chat.
I will say about the business model something.
Okay.
We, as a consulting company, we do share risk with you, meaning that we do take success fees only if you get funded. But also, we don't believe in working for free. So we do take an upfront because we justify our investment and our work during the proposal preparation, and we are very invested in it.
Okay, thank you for that added comment. That's good. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here. Sorry if it's not as elegant as could be. Okay, the next question that we have is from Torben. Could you comment on the existence and understanding of a non-bankable criterion for the EIC Accelerator?
Oh, that's a good question. During the EIC Accelerator pilot in 19 and 20, there was this chapter about the non-bankability that was very difficult for all of us, for the applicants, for the consultants, and for the evaluator as well. It was very difficult to understand what are they looking for, and we tried to do it, and I have submitted some proposals that were excellent. We received very high score, but just on this paragraph we received a very low score, and then we couldn't get fund, and this was very frustrating. So happily the European Commission has listened to this frustration and has deleted this part. So there will not be a non-bankability chapter in the new format for the EIC Accelerator, but the financial situation will have to be exposed more at in approach of showing a risk. Why are you applying for a grant? You have to show a certain risk. And there it's a bit an equilibrium between showing stability of the company, that you're not closing tomorrow, but on the other hand, that you have a certain risk, and therefore you're applying for governmental funding and not private one. So we will express that, but more in a risk approach and not this bankability, a very flu notion.
Thank you, Odelia. Okay, the next question we have. Okay, this is a question also I wanted to talk about. Can a company apply for, like the same company, apply with 2 different projects for phase 1?
Again, a company, when you say phase 1, it's the first stage of submission. No, a same company cannot apply with 2 projects, no.
Okay, that was Stefan's question, by the way. So I hope you heard the answer. We have another question from Laura regarding EIC. What does close to market mean for life science companies? For example, due to large funding rounds and R&D cycles, close to market is relative. More specifically, as a microbiome diagnostic company with proof of concept in place, is an application possible?
Okay, it's a long and complicated question, but if I understand correctly, you would like to understand what means market readiness in the life science field. In the life science field, the R&D process is usually very long. You have to make a large-scale clinical trial before getting validation and certainly certification. So market readiness in this field would be to reach or to get close to certification, to be after preclinical trials. You can get funding for your first in human clinical trial, or you can apply for large scale trials. And you have to include the validation and certification process that you want to enhance in order to get for commercialization. Now, with the EIC Accelerator, usually it's a project of 2 years. Therefore, what we advise is that in the project you want to fund, by the end of the 2 years, you get a certain milestone that show your more closeness to market adoption. You don't have to get already for market adoption, especially in the life science field where it's long, but you have to show that the steps are already engaged in order to get there.
Okay, thank you. I think that answers Danny's question as well, who asked about a medical device at TRL 6.
TRL 6 is the right stage for the EIC Accelerator. And as I said, it's a 2-year project, meaning that if at the end of the 2 years you're not able to sell, it doesn't mean that you cannot apply with the EIC Accelerator. We have seen already funded projects that are at this stage. But at the end of the project, we have to show that you have a full working prototype that is getting validated and certified, or something that shows your readiness.
Thank you. Another question by Hillary. Does fast track possibility include people who have already had an SME instrument, who have already submitted for SME instrument phase 2?
No, that was already funded, not submitted. If you have already submitted an SME instrument but didn't receive nor the Seal of Excellence nor the funding, then no, you cannot apply for the fast track.
Okay, Kumi asks, are resubmissions allowed for the new EIC?
Yes, but this time, you have known that the SME instrument and EIC Accelerator pilot were engaging for a lot of resubmissions, and most of the funded projects were funded after 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 resubmissions. Now the new EIC work program doesn't want that, doesn't want this long, wants to be more straightforward. Therefore, you are allowed for 2 resubmissions in a year maximum. If you get 2 times a no-go, you cannot resubmit. You have to wait the next year.
Okay, that's good to know. We have a number of questions from Shahal. The first one regarding our fees, as I mentioned, Shahal, you're welcome to send me your email and I will email you about our business model. Success rate, what are the success rates of Israeli companies or companies that have worked with you? Odelia, would you like to comment on that?
Yeah, regarding Israeli companies, Israel is quite good ranked in the funded project. Usually, we have seen that it's above the average. There is a certain innovative approach and a lot of startups in Israel. So yes, we see a bit more chances of success. Regarding our chances of success, a lot of people ask me about that. It's a bit difficult because each path has different chances of success. As a consultant, we are definitely increasing your chances of success. Your chances of success are first based on your product, what you bring, if it's something that is aligned. And this is what we will advise you. We will read about your innovation and say, whether I say, whoa, that's definitely something we should apply for, or no, I've heard about it so many times, don't go for it. So first of all, it begins with you, the chances of success. Then, of course, you can apply alone, but I'm quite sure that with a consultant, you will increase by almost 10 or 20 more percent of success. I know that a lot of funded proposals were written by consultants, but I believe that the best proposal is the one that is written in collaboration between the applicant and the consultant, because the consultant is there in order to tackle the interesting question. The consultant is the exterior eye that would look at your innovation and say, but why are you saying that? This is not convincing. You should show me more. Do you have something to base that? Where does those numbers come from? Please explain. They will ask the question that sometimes you don't ask yourself. And this is our work. So yeah, I believe we higher the chances of success, but I don't want to say we have a 80% chances of success. That's not true. And the one that tells that are lying.
Okay. And a quick question, also Shachel's question, what is the duration of the accelerator? Is there a time limit?
The project that you're applying for, 2 years, yeah.
Okay. Hillary asks, there's mention in the draft work program of use of AI tools. Do you have any insight into how that will work?
Again, the question again.
The question again, she's saying there is a mention in the draft work program that there'll be a use of AI tools. And do you have any insight into how that will work?
I talked about AI tools in different challenge driven. As I said, we have the 3 paths, and each path is open for application through the bottom-up path, open to any field, and also the challenge driven path. And the European Commission has also set a certain total budget for this path and this one. And in the specific challenge driven path, one of the paths is AI tools. So yeah, it is aligned with what the European Commission is looking to fund. I will say that AI is a buzzword. I cannot understand what you're doing exactly. I would love to hear more, because I know, for example, that there are a lot of funding opportunities in other calls, or the European calls, not only the EIC Accelerator, that is targeting AI, for example, in the life science, personalized medicine based on AI, but a lot more. So I will have to know more to address this question.
Okay, I will say that we have 5 minutes till we wrap up the webinar. I think that I will ask Taco's question. I think this could apply to a lot of people. There are a lot of organizations doing this, very true. To select the best partner, what, in your view, are things we should be looking at or looking out for?
Well, okay, why are we the best? This would be the question. that's a bit difficult to answer. I don't look at the competition. I know there are a lot of companies, and I respect them for what they're doing. I believe that we have a very young and dynamic team. We are split very methodically in several departments in order to really go step by step in the proposal preparation process. We are, as I explained, we are tailoring the application. Well, what can I say? I believe we're doing a good work, and I believe we are good to go with, but it's difficult to to explain.
Okay. Alexei asks, are commercial software projects considered, or are there only projects with strong social impact in the accelerator track?
Well, software project can have a lot of impact as well. We have applied a lot of SaaS platform or any software application, even market platform, for example. When I say impact-oriented company, as I said, the main impact that you should generate would be an economic impact. Economic impact at the European level, but also at your company level. Meaning if you show that by the help of this grant, you will reach this and this milestone, and you will get more investments, and you will growth and enable new job opportunities, then this is one of the impact the European Commission is looking for. So a software company can generate this kind of impact. Now, regarding societal impact, it depends on what you're doing. I cannot say, but as I said, impact oriented, it could be societal, it could be green, it could be economic, it could be a combination of all. I don't know.
Okay, I think we're going to finish up with just Hillary elaborated on the question she asked regarding the AI tools. So I think we'll answer that and we'll wrap it up. I will say before we do that, I just sent on over the chat, I just sent my email, ahava@argentumconsultants.eu. Any questions that we didn't have a chance to answer, any follow-up questions, anyone who wants to know about the business model and didn't write to me in the chat, or who would like to schedule a call, of course, you're welcome to contact me via email. We will be sending, again, I'll say, we're going to be sending the slides we just presented to the mailing list of everyone who has signed up to this event. And we will be uploading the recording to our YouTube page. So Hillary expands on the question. She says, the AI tools I'm referring to are regarding the templates. They mentioned in the draft work program, when applying, there will be some AI tools on the EU platform helping with the application process in some way. Should like to know.
Yeah. Okay. I understand now. Yes, until now we've worked with the funding and tender platform for uploading the proposals and addressing the part A online. They are working on an AI platform where we will apply on this platform. This platform will give you also comments online while you're filling up the submission process. I cannot say a lot more about this platform. I'm sure they are doing it in order to make it as easy as possible. It doesn't change so much about what I've said until now regarding the proposal. The proposal will have to be a document that will be uploaded. But yes, they are building up an AI platform for the submission process. That's true.
Okay, thank you. Odelia, I think we're going to end on time.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much for your presentation and for answering the many questions. Thank you everyone for being with us. It was a pleasure to have you, and we hope to see you in our next events. You'll be receiving campaigns, and you can follow us on LinkedIn to be updated on every event that happens. So thanks a lot. Have a great day, and see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.